All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here with another exciting edition of As the Who Turns. This episode of As the Who Turns is being brought to you by PJ Rock Super Chats, Buy Me a Coffee, Patreon, and YouTube memberships, as well as people actually watching these videos and subscribing to the Harmless Dave channel. This is my new home, so make yourself at home while you're here. You know, grab yourself a cold beverage, sit back and relax as we explore some drama still happening, and it's just bizarre. One of the older rock bands still on the scene today. This time, Roger Daltry has, well, I guess he's just clarifying and he's explaining some things. So we're going to cover that in this particular episode of As the Who Turns. Now, I guess Roger is out there doing solo gigs in addition to playing shows with The Who. Now, Roger was talking in between songs, and I think I will try to pick this up in a place that, it might get a little interesting listening to Roger. At least you hear it from the horse's mouth, right? So, sorry, Roger. He's an old workhorse, and he's still got it. He can still sing to some degree. So let's listen to Roger Daltrey explain the situation that I guess never happened.
Needless to say, the last few weeks in my life, I've felt like I've been starring in an episode of The Twilight Zone. I feel I've been reading about me in the press, doing things that I don't remember ever doing. And it's kind of weird, you know, your brain. I must have an imposter. And apparently, according to an inside source, there was a war of words in a dressing room. Oh, my fucking dressing room, that's for sure. And an inside source makes you wonder, doesn't it? How far inside? Up someone's arse? Well, anyway, all I want to say is, it's fake news.
All right, so it's fake news. All this stuff about Zack Starkey being fired, even though Zack Starkey at one point said he was really disappointed. I mean, it's just kind of interesting. So Daltry, who doesn't like social media, so he and I have a lot in common. I don't like it either, but he's blaming social media, and then he's kind of backpedaling on the entire thing like it never happened, like nobody was in the dressing room. Now, I've never read anything about a confrontation in the dressing room. What I've read is that Zack Starkey was playing the drums, and that was irritating Roger Daltrey to some degree because he couldn't find the right note. He couldn't find the right place to start the song because of the boom, boom, boom of Zack Starkey's drums. Now, again, Zack Starkey announced he was surprised and saddened to discover he had been dismissed, but the situation was overturned when Pete Townsend said the drummer was still a member of the band and took responsibility for some elements of a communication breakdown. So Roger is out there on what's called the Alive and Kicking tour, which I don't think he stole from Simple Minds or anything like that. He's just letting the world know that he's alive and he's kicking. He says, again, in case you didn't hear that audio, the last few weeks in my life, I felt like I've been starring in an episode of The Twilight Zone. So there's no question that these guys are getting older. They're getting crankier. This touring thing can't be a lot of fun for somebody in their 80s, I'm thinking. It's difficult. It puts a lot of wear and tear, not only on your body, but probably Roger's vocal cords. Pete Townsend said the other day that, he doesn't really like being on stage. It's not a lot of fun for him. I mean, I don't know. This to me really sounds like a soap opera. Yes, I've got the soap opera music here going again because, you know what? I guess you just have to take the money, be happy, and try to make the most of what time you've got left on the stage. Now, it does appear there was a conflict that involved Zack Starkey. That conflict has been resolved. It would have been better if Roger just went out there and said, you know what? There was a misunderstanding, a breakdown in communications between myself and Zack and maybe Pete and Zack. I don't know. Something that was a little less confrontational than the fake news commentary here, which, again, people are just reporting what they're hearing. And quite honestly, folks, it's just something to keep some spotlight or some attention on both Roger's solo efforts here and any more appearances by The Who. It's kind of a sad ending to a once great classic rock band, and I really thought these guys had some gas in the tank, but between Townsend saying he doesn't want to be on stage and Roger just being a cranky old dude who probably, just is there because the money is good, I don't know. I mean, they've got to be getting paid a pretty good amount of money to still be out there. And to his credit, I don't think there's any auto-tune or vocal tracks being used. I don't think they're doing any of that stuff. Roger is old school, and his commentary about social media isn't wrong. It's not wrong. He says it's really, brought society down to the pit. So I don't know if it's done that, but it certainly hasn't enhanced life other than, hey, I've got to comment on everything. Hey, I mean, engagement, don't you like engagement? Yeah, to some degree, but I also like living my life. So do I agree with Roger Daltry on that? Yeah. But clearly there was some kind of a disagreement with Zack Starkey that happened, and he's claiming that, he's been living in the Twilight Zone. I didn't hear any of this stuff about the dressing room, so maybe that was reported over in the UK, and I just missed that one. And the American media, not as concerned, possibly. But you know what? The classic rock world doesn't have a lot to talk about. So you would think there would be more stories about this, and hence, we could get some unfake news. But according to Roger, it's all fake news. So nothing to see here, just an old rock band getting themselves a little, or much needed, I should say, publicity. So good for them. God bless them. It's good that they're still around, and I look forward to doing more episodes of As the Who Turns. Again, if you like the channel, please subscribe to it. Also, one more time for Patreon, Buy Me a Coffee, YouTube memberships, and PJ Rock Super Chats. Over on Patreon, I post songs. Sometimes I just talk about generic things. Sometimes I comment on certain things that are going on in the world. But you can join Patreon for $1. And it's kind of a recurring thing. If you want to be a member over there, that is much appreciated. God bless everyone. God bless Roger Daltrey as he continues to be a cranky curmudgeon, my favorite kind of rock star.